everyone. This is Miss Minnie's
Story time.
and I'm going to read you a book called A Servant Like
Jesus.
And it was actually, we'll start out on
then-
the first day of school. Now, it was the first day of school at the Fish Care Cove School. And Miss Stella Starfish waited at the door and she greeted all her little kitties. Now, it was a super cool room, and the alphabet letters and numbers, along with colorful pictures of all kinds of animals, decorated the rock walls of the classroom. And we even have little paper and crowns here that Bernie looks a little interested in, doesn't he? Each kid's cubby had his or her name on it. "That's my cubby," said Bernie. He smiled as he placed his backpack in it. Now, there was some sad kids here, and they cried when their parents left. Charlie over here, he hid behind the cleanup sink. Miss Stella, she was a very good teacher. She comforted the kids who were crying, and she did ask Charlie, she says, "Won't you please come and join us for circle time? Everyone is nice, and I'm sure you'll have lots of fun." Well, Charlie, he just stared at the sand beneath his little crab legs, and he says, "No, thank you. I want to stay here." Miss Stella said, "Okay, Charlie, you can stay there for now." Now, what did the other kids be doing right now? Well, they had started to play with the toys. Suddenly, Will pointed at Tina and shouted, "She took my piano." Well, Miss Stella knelt beside Tina and said, "We need to share nicely. There are enough toys for everyone to play with, and we all have to take turns." "I had it first," said Tina. "No, I had it first," Willie replied. Now, Charlie, he saw everything that was going on, and he crept out behind the sink, and he crawled over to Miss Stella, and he whispered in her ear, Tina had it first." "Thank you, Charlie," said Miss Stella. Then she looked at Tina and Willie and said, "Tina can play with it first for 5 minutes, and then it will be Willie's turn." Miss Stella turned to speak to Charlie, but guess what? Charlie had already crept behind the sink again. Wow. "Charlie, please come out and play," said Miss Stella. "No, I can't," answered Charlie. "Why not?" asked Miss Stella. "I miss my mommy, and I want her to come and get me now," he demanded. "Well, I really do understand how you feel, but you really helped out when Willie and Tina had a problem sharing, and I can use a helper. Would you be my helper?" Miss Stella asked. Well, Charlie's eyes grew huge. He wiped away his tears and said, "I can see all around with my crab eyes. I have great claws for carrying things, and even though I have 6 legs instead of 8, I can move really fast. Crabs can move sideways too. I help my mommy all the time. I would love to be your helper." Well, that day, the Sea Kids went on a field trip to see the beautiful coral reef gardens. The coral reef were colorful, and they were all kinds of fish. All of a sudden, a wave bumped Bernie into the coral. "Ouch! That hurts!" screamed Bernie. It's a pretty bad sting, Miss Stella said as she looked at Bernie's fin. The nurse will have to look at it. Charlie bowed his head and he prayed. He says, "Please, Jesus, help the pain on Bernie's fin go away. And thank you for helping me." He goes, "I needed help not to be shy and then I can help my friend." Amen. When they got back to the school, Charlie carried Bernie back to the classroom. "Thank you for being such a good friend and helping me," said Bernie. All of the Sea Kids watched as the school nurse, Miss Lena, came in and placed some medicine on the sting. At all the kids looking. Thank you, Miss Lena," said Bernie. At the end of the school day, Charlie was so busy cleaning up and the classroom that he didn't even notice that his mom came to take him home. Look at that. Charlie scampered to his mother and said, "Well, I had a lot of fun. At first I was a little shy, but Miss Stella, she asked me to be her helper because I had so much fun, so much to do. Mommy, I prayed for Jesus to help Bernie, and I thank him for me being so brave." Well, after school, Charlie went home and read a story to his brother. Then he washed the dishes and cleaned up the kitchen. Look at that. Look, he is a busy boy. "I am learning to be brave and to help everyone. That makes me feel good in my heart. And Jesus served everyone, and I want to be a servant, just like Jesus," Charlie said. Oh, here it is nighttime, isn't it? That night, Charlie went to bed a little early because he wanted to make sure that he would get a good night's sleep. He wanted to be a good helper for Miss Stella, and he decided that it was way more to be fun to be a helper than to hide behind a sink. Before he fell asleep, Charlie prayed, "Dear Jesus, thank you for my great first day of school. Thank you for my mommy and my daddy and all my new friends. And for Miss Stella, help me to always help others. Amen." And that is a servant like Jesus. I hope you enjoyed it.